Hi, it's Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles, and I'm here to do a tutorial on the beaded edge I do on my ornaments. I've had a few people have a little difficulty, and they asked me to do a much more black and white, literally, tutorial where it's much easier to see, and so I'm going to take you through each step and show you how to do this tutorial. So, I got black felt and I've got white thread and white oversized seed beads to make it a little easier. Now I also have some black seed beads because I'm going to show you how to change colors, which is a real easy thing to do. But you're going to take your two pieces of felt and you're going to come through the front. Now mind you, this will usually be beaded like this. You're going to have two pieces, one with beads and one with not. The only reason I'm not showing you on this is because that's been the problem. You can't see what I'm doing. So what I would suggest is that you practice on felt, on two pieces of felt, and when you're done, you can just cut along the top of the felt and cut all your beads back off. But then you can try working on the felt with the sequins. But first practice on this. I was fortunate enough to have a really good diagram out of a book. I've still got that book, but unfortunately all my beading books are packed up right now. Or I would get out that diagram, show it, and give the author credit. It's a 30-year-old book, or pamphlet, really. I don't have it to where I can reach it. So we're just going to do this. So you're going to go in between the two pieces through the front piece of felt. And you're going to come through anywhere you want to start. And just come through, and you make that knot go in. Don't worry about the tail. You know, you can trim that tail if you want, if it bugs you, but you can always, it'll be inside the piece, so don't worry about it. Now you're going to go, so you've got the knot in the middle and the thread coming out the front. Now you're going to go to the back, pretty much in the similar spot, if not exact, and bring the thread up, and you're going to come around and make a loop. Make sure it goes up over where you want to be, not to the side. And that's going to hook your two pieces of felt together. Now you're going to be doing this again, but first you're going to put 3 seed beads on. And let me say this now. Only the first stitch do you put 3 seed beads. After the first stitch, you're only going to be putting 2 on. And I'll show you why. So now you're going to pull this tight. Now, you're going to look at that and go, how in the world is that supposed to be a triangle? Don't worry about it. The first one's always screwy. But the main thing to remember is you do not go through that bead that has the thread coming out of it. The thread that comes out on the back, that's the bead you want. So you're going to take your finger, and the first one you might have to push back with both fingers. But the one that's to the back, right there, that's the one you want to catch with the needle and go up. Now the first one's always going to be a little weird, okay? It's okay. Now you're going to only put 2 on going forward. And I'll show you why, because you already have the first bead for your triangle. Now you're going to go back through the felt, fairly close because you're only going to be a seed bead apart, and you're going to pull again, then again. Do not go through the seed bead on the front that has the thread coming through it. You want to push this forward from the back and come up through that one in the back. Now if you're left-handed and you go the other direction, then you just want to push from the other side. I'm right-handed. I tend to go this way most of the time when I'm doing these ornaments. And usually if I have something like this with 2 colors, I usually start like here with the green, and I'll go around the whole green, and then I'll get to here, and then I'll switch over to white and do the white. But you can do it however works out best for you. So let's do a couple more stitches and show you how this goes. So you're going to keep adding 2. So you put 2 on the needle. It can be on the needle. You can, if you're more comfortable, you can put it on the string. But you're going to come up through the back. And you're going to pull. Now my stitches are not going to be real good in this tutorial because I'm telling you I can barely see what I'm doing because I'm trying to keep it in frame, which means I have to look under the camera because I cannot see the needle through the viewfinder. So I'm looking up through the bottom underneath the camera. So my stitches aren't real good, so I apologize for that. Normally I have this right under my eyes. So see what I'm doing? Now keep in mind this bead here has a thread coming out of it. This bead is the first bead in your next triangle. So let's put 2 more beads on here. And we'll go back from the back. And remember, you do not want to come through the one with the thread in front. And you want to come up with the last one. So you're going to push it from with your finger forward. And come up through that bead. See? It was requested that I do a few stitches. So I'm going to go back through the back again. And usually I do this pretty, you'll find as you do this, you'll get better at being real even on your stitches. I'm not right now because I can't see what I'm doing. But you will find that as you get better at it, you'll get real nice even stitches. And remember, do not go back through the one that has the thread. Pull it forward with your finger in the back and go up through that one that's on the back, which again makes the first bead in your next triangle. Now these beads are very uneven to show you that they don't have to be perfect to make a nice looking triangle. Now how about changing colors? Well, that's real easy. Let's say you've got another color starting right here. What you're going to gauge is where does that color start? And do you need to make this one black or this one? So sometimes I will do one white and then a black, like this. And then start the black. Trying to see what I'm doing. I cannot pick up the black beads. Okay. And then from then on, you'll do that color until you need to change the color again. And again, do not go through. Did I put 2 on there? Doesn't look like I did. I think I started over. See, I'm very confused right now. Hold on. I don't know what I did. Oh, you know what I didn't do is I didn't come... I don't know what I... Oh, I didn't come up through that last bead is what I didn't do. Hold on, I'll be right back. I was not going to make you wait while I knotted. That's a mistake I made. I'm telling you, I'm having a heck of a time seeing what I'm doing. But I want to make this very much in frame. So I didn't come back up. I just added the beads. Now this might be a mistake one of you is making out there. So if it's not looking right, make sure you went through that bead at the end there, which is the first in your next triangle. Then add the next 2 beads. That's a mistake I made, is I was too interested in adding the black beads. I forgot to go up to that black bead. Now I'm going to add the next 2 black beads on and go back up to the back one, and then we'll go back to white. Now sometimes I'll do a pattern too, and I'll do the base in one color and the top in another. How do I do that? I'll show you. We'll leave the top as black and the base as white. So we're going to do a black and then a white. You're going to come back up through the white, and then from then on in, you'll add a black and then a white. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble. I'm having to look under the camera to see what I'm doing. Okay, see? And then every stitch, if you do a black and then a white, you'll continue to have this black and white pattern. Or red or green or gold or silver, whatever two colors you want. And again, don't go up through the one with the thread, go up through the back one. Whoop. See? And that's how you can make a two-color one. But we're going to go back and I'm going to show you how to do it one more time with just the plain white. We're going to start over. Pretend there's a knot in between the two. Okay, there's a knot in there. Right between the two pieces of felt. There's a knot in there. And we're going to come back from the back and we're going to tie the two pieces together. Now, we're going to go back through, but first we're going to put 3 seed beads on. And you can see these are wildly different. These are 2 thick ones and a thin one. These are 30-year-old seed beads. Okay. And come through the back. Most seed beads you buy today are much better quality than this. But if you do have a lot of them, then try to do it this way, like do the little one on the middle, but like you did the black and white. Okay, so remember, do not go back up the one that has the thread. You want to go up. You want to go up the one that you pulled from the back. And the first stitch is always going to be hinky. It's always going to be hinky. So let's do this again. It comes to the back, to the front. Now when you're doing this yourself, you're not going to be so wildly off as I'm being off, because I'm literally struggling to see through the camera right now. Okay, so the first one is always a pain in the butt, but you fix that at the end when you come back and end it. So now keep in mind your next stitch, when you add 2 beads, see the thread coming up through that one? That's not the one you're going to come back through. You're going to add 2 beads and you're going to come through the back. I literally cannot see what I'm doing to the viewfinder. I have to look under the viewfinder. Okay, so you're not going to go up through the bead with the thread. You're going to push from the back and you're going to go up the bead that's at the back, which is going to be the first one, the one that's touching the other side of the fabric, because basically when you put them on, it kind of goes from the front to the back, right? So you're going to pull the one that's toward the back forward and go up through it. That's all you're doing, because when you add the 2 beads and you go back through the fabric, because let me show you, I'm going to go through that again and show you. So when you take the 2 beads and you go back through the back, all right, you're going back to the back. What happens? those beads go through the back, right? But you're going to keep it to the front here. And you're just going to push that bead from the back forward. And then you're going to come up through that last bead. Like that. Okay? And just keep doing 2 all the way around. Now, I was asked, what do I do if I run out of thread? This is what I do. I'll just go straight down like this. If I know, make sure you have enough thread that you can make a good knot. And I come down into the fabric. Don't worry, you're going to pull that down a little bit. It's okay. Normally you're not going to come make as big a mess as this, but on the back sometimes I do. Let me find an ornament where I can show you where I've done this a couple times. Let me see if I have one where I have a different color thread. Okay, here's a red one. Let's see if I can find where I've done this on here. Okay, there, let's see. Right there. See, I come down, tie a knot, and I go back up. So you just might have a couple little knots on the back of your piece when you add thread. It's the back, who cares, you know? And if you do use the same color thread as the back, you won't even see it that bad. So then when you get down here, what I do is I don't really tie a knot. I go through, I go make loops. Now I'm not going to actually cut it off and knot it because I do not want to have to start this video again, because I'm telling you it takes me a while to see. But I go through 3 or 4 times this direction, and then a couple times this direction, like this, and then maybe one more time this direction. Alright, and then I would cut that off. Okay, then you have the new thread, and then I would just come back up through this knot so that the knot gets caught up into this knot, and then come up into the felt like this. Come up into the felt pretty good. You want to be deep into the felt and kind of come up like that. So pretend this is a new thread with a new knot. Then you'll just come right back up through that last bead you were in and keep going. That's it. That's all you have to do. Really, really easy. And then you just add another couple beads and just keep going. So add 2 beads. If the edges start to get off, just keep pushing them together, keeping them level, and again, you're going to pull it, and the beads are going to go toward the back, but you're going to not put it through the one with the thread. You're going to push it forward, and you're going to go through the one you're pushing forward. That would be the one with the thread on the back. Okay? Just keep doing that. That's all you keep doing, all the way around. When you get to a corner, you just come to the corner, and then just make your next stitch on here. It's that easy. And most of the time you're not going to have sharp corners. You're going to be going around. I very rarely have a sharp corner. It's usually around edges, like on the trees. They're just rounded. And when you go into a deep ridge like this, sometimes you can just add 1 seed bead instead of the 2. Or you can put the 2. It just depends on what you want to do. But it's real easy. And when you're doing it with sequins, I'm just going to show you, when you come up through here, make sure you don't come through a sequin. Let me show you why. If you come up through one of your sequins like this, and then you come out over it, this is what will happen. You'll have a thread over top the sequin on the finished ornament. So if you see that happen and you've already pulled the thread through it, just pull the thread out. And you just pull it out. Whoops, I'm all tangled up. Just pull it out. But try to do it before that. Like, watch the needle. If the needle comes up through a sequin, pull it back down. But anyway, and when you're done, just knot it off the same way I showed you for when you're switching threads. Just go around a few times, go around a few times, back through the original time. Cut it off. If you want to put a dot of glue, you can, but I've literally been doing these for 30 years. I've never had one fall apart. But anyway, there you go. That's how to do the triangular edge that you see on all of my ornaments. Practice on the felt alone, and then try doing it with on your actual ornament. Now at the end of the ornament, I'm going to show you what you do here. See how these two, let's say I've stitched all the way around and I'm up to there. There's the last stitch and the first stitch. All you're going to do is add one bead and come back through the bottom bead. Because see, you've already got your 2 base beads there. That's how you finish it. So you match up the 2 bottom beads, put on 1 bead, come through the bottom, and then do that knot. That's all you do to finish it. And I do show that on every ornament. So if you go back to like the tree ornament, the candy cane, you'll see me do that. But anyway, I hope this was a good ornament tutorial, or a good edging tutorial. If you have any further questions, let me know. But that's how to change color, how to do 2 colors, and just simply how to do it. Just keep in mind, do not go back through the one that has the thread. You come up through the second one so you can see the triangle. It's real easy. So see on my last one, you do not see a thread coming out that back one, but you would if I'd come up it to do another stitch. So that's how you do it. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to do any specific tutorials you guys need. I hope this helps those of you that were asking. And I will be back soon with my Christmas ornament tutorial. And now through Christmas, I'm going to be doing mostly Christmas ornaments, but I will still be doing a few non-Christmas that have been requested. So some of them were requested last year. One of you requested a Christmas soldier. I have not forgotten. And one of you requested a coyote. I have not forgotten. Those were from last year. And then my best friend requested a hummingbird. So those 3 are the first I'm going to be doing. Not the soldier. I'm going to do him a little later. But the other 2 are going to be the first non-Christmas I do after I get a couple Christmas ornaments done. The soldier I've got to work on. Figure out how I'm going to do him, because I don't have a cookie cutter. So I'm going to see if I can find a cookie cutter in my stash. I don't know if I have a soldier. And if I can't find a soldier cookie cutter, I'll see what else I can come up with to do that for you. So anyway, that ends this tutorial. If you liked it, I hope you'll like it. If you want to leave a comment, I love comments. I appreciate likes. And if you haven't subscribed, if you want to subscribe, I'm going to be doing a lot of Christmas ornaments. If you're new to my channel, these are some of the ornaments I've done. I've done a stocking. I've done a tree. I've done candy canes, although I did a red one, I think, in the tutorial. I've done a penguin. I've done some traditional vintage-looking ornaments. I've done some stacked sequin ornaments, which are one of my favorite things to do in many colors. I've got these in pinks, and I think I even have some red, white, and blue ones. I've got more of these striped ornaments. I've done all kinds of tutorials for you. Some Christmas or Thanksgiving turkeys. Yeah, here's the other stars in the stacked sequins. And my cardinal. So I've done a lot of ornament tutorials, and I've got a lot more to do for you. So I hope you'll subscribe. I'm going to do a lot of fun ornaments for you this Christmas. And I'm starting on the Christmas tutorials now. But for now, this is the beading edge tutorial. And I'm going to get this uploaded as quick as I can to YouTube so that you guys can figure this out. Like I said, I was fortunate to have an extremely easy to read picture tutorial. Because, you know, we didn't have internet back then. So I had one that was drawn out. It was so easy. And if I had that to show you, I would show it to you. But it's packed away and I can't. So I'm hoping I did it this time that I showed you how to figure it out. But again, any questions, I'll do another tutorial. So thanks again. I'll be back soon. I've got another ornament to show you. Either tomorrow or the next day, I will get that ornament tutorial done. Talk to you soon. Bye.